orange chicken is, I think, my soulmate.
When did I become such a blackie?
Rain and petals eavesdrop. I used the wrong word.
You are a disrespectful piece of...
Hey Corals, welcome to another Amberlynn video. This is part 2 of my last video, if you want to go watch that first. I'm gonna just run through a quick intro here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you. There's a Discord server linked in the description and pinned comment if you want to come chat or hang out. Feel free to leave me a comment with your thoughts or feedback below. I respond to all of you. Thank you, and let's get into the video.
What show did you audition for last year? So I am friends with someone from 1,000 Pound Best Friends, and
Honestly, this is kind of boring. I'm gonna skip it. It feels kind of boring. It feels kind of like she wants to feel important. I just really couldn't care less.
But I never heard back from them. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this happens a lot. I have been interviewed for a few weight loss shows and it always goes really good. They like hype me up and they make me feel really good, but they never call me back. They never even tell me, sorry, we didn't choose you. It's just like there's nothing.
She is an absolute mess, and I would love to see her on one of those TV shows, but I don't think she's what they're looking for. It's almost like she's far enough along in her quote-unquote journey that I think it's harder to take advantage of her at this point for those shows. Unfortunately, they do look for people that they can easily take advantage of and kind of twist their actions into looking better or worse based on what the show wants. It's probably better off that she hasn't gotten into any of those shows.
Girl I'm friends with from that show, I don't want to like say her name because I don't know how she would feel about that. I'm sure she wouldn't care, but like, y'all, you know me, I'm afraid, like the doxing, I might say the wrong thing. Like I have become more private on my channel. I do want to get better with that and start sharing more, but it's hard to balance like what am I allowed to say versus what am I not allowed to say. I don't want anyone mad at me. So, but yeah, it was 1,000 Pound.
Yeah, sure. Again, let's look at the past where she continuously shoved her camera into other people's faces. I'm glad she's not doing that now. It does make her content a lot more boring, but at the same time, I would rather have her content be boring than her invading other people's privacy. She still loves to blame it on us for the doxing and everything else, which I can understand, but at the same time, it was still her fault when she was purposely shoving her camera down people's throats in the past. That was all on her.
Do you consider yourself a sexual person? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I would consider myself to actually be a very sexual person, especially.
Just warning, we're gonna want to throw up a couple times during this video.
Like if we vibe in that way, like sex every day. I'm a daily sex type of girly pop. So do you have a current love life? So I actually do have a current love life, and it is with my Valentine. There was a phase where I was talking to multiple people at once and my feelings grew here and there and this and that. And I just realized that like talking to multiple people at once is not me.
It's not her because she grows too attached to everybody and then can't decide who she wants to be with. So basically what she's saying is this girl was in a race with all of the other ones and she just happened to come out on top. Ding ding ding.
So my Valentine is the only person that I'm interested in and the only person that I want to be interested in and that I will be interested in. So yeah, I do have a love life. What 5 things would you want your partner to be like? I'll name some things, like obviously like trustworthy and loyal. I want someone who's loving and affectionate, like with their words and physical
So basically she wants the opposite of herself. Interesting.
touch. I want someone who's obsessed with me. Like mutual obsession is definitely green flag coded for sure. And I want someone.
Obsession? No. I feel like I get what she's saying, but at the same time, if you're obsessed with someone else in a relationship, you're kind of creating a toxic, controlling environment. I think that's definitely been an issue with Amber's relationships in the past. She has been obsessed with her partner and then doesn't allow them to do anything.
who's like weird and funny and quirky and silly, because that is very much me. And I want to laugh with you and be weird with you. And I just love that. Like someone with a good sense of humor. Who is your favorite ex? I'm gonna say Feline. Is wifey number 1 the same as wifey number 2? Wifey number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are all the same person. Has Nika
At least she can finally admit to lying about all of that. She has a couple times now. I remember back less than 2 years ago when she was convincing us that they were all different people. But suddenly she just brushes over the fact that she was completely lying to everybody. No big deal.
Avocado apologized yet for implying you lied about having cancer? No, he hasn't. And I think that's just very low of him, especially because he still says, quote,
have you apologized to your exes for abusing them and for falsely accusing one of them of rape?
Legos.
Didn't think so. I can agree that it's wrong to imply that someone is faking cancer. I personally believe her story, but at the same time, it's kind of hypocritical that she wants someone to apologize for saying something about her after she hasn't taken accountability for any of this up shit she's done to other people.
Quotes and does things that I do in my videos and his videos. It's just like, do you have a heart? Like at all?
He's a troll, and Amber always says that she's a troll. She constantly uses quote unquote trolling as her excuse for everything she's done on her channel. But as soon as someone else is a troll towards her, it's an issue. Pick one or the other, girl. Are you gonna be upset by people trolling, or are you a troll yourself?
Be different like if he was just like another YouTuber who just wanted to talk shit, but I did consider him my friend and I did talk to him about my cancer privately in text messages. So it's just like, for him to do something like that is just really wrong. Would I like an apology? Sure. Like, be a good decent human being. Who is your favorite reactor?
You want to talk about decent human being? Apologize to your exes for making them feel like absolute dogs.
Ooh.
And then continuing to talk about them after their relationships as if you did nothing wrong, and then calling them even after that to continue to talk and then tell them that their brother's addiction is tea.
Like, I know tea on him. Like, I know tea on your whole family times 12, but I'm not that person.
You have tea on my brother?
Yeah, he was a coke addict.
Oh my god.
And then get angry when people talk about your family's addictions. She's so insufferable.
In girl world. Definitely Yo Mama, hands down. I feel like we don't really have anyone like that in the community. Someone who's willing to stand up towards bullies and YouTubers who think that they're doing something good when they're really not. They're just like attacking two individuals. I noticed that a lot of the reaction channels, they don't like to talk about the other reaction channels. And if they do, it's always like good things. But it's like, y'all, these reaction channels, they're not perfect. They do and say wrong things as well because we are humans. That is just how we're programmed.
I can agree with that. There are some reaction channels that I do think take it too far. There are others that I'm chill with. I used to watch a ton of the reaction channels, but now that I'm one myself, I kind of try to stay away from it because I want to develop my own opinions without feeling like I'm accidentally copying someone else's opinions simply because I agree with them. But I'm chill with most other reaction channels. There are some that I feel like are way too deep into everything that's going on. I personally kind of try to stay on the outside. I don't dig into different people that show up in the videos. I don't dig into other social media and how they're interacting with other people. I just don't feel like it should be that deep, I guess. So I'm kind of an outside reaction channel looking in. I'm not about to go in there to see what the f is going on, you know? So I can agree, there are people that go too deep. I feel like they get too personally involved when I just don't think they should. But that doesn't mean that all reaction channels are bad. Just like she's saying, some of them make mistakes. We're human. Most of us are just trying to criticize her. We're showing what she's doing, her behaviors. Most of us aren't bad.
To make mistakes and to do things that we shouldn't. But I think the difference is that Yo Mama's not afraid to say something, while all the other reaction channels are very much scaredy cats, for the lack of a better term. Minus all.
She's so smug. You haven't said shit either, have you? And she wants to get mad at us reaction channels for not calling it out. I could go on and on about stuff that she's not calling out that she could be calling out. She can do that on us too, but is she really any better than we are?
Do you use sex toys with yourself or with partners? Yes, I do. Like, this was like a decade ago. One time I was like, yeah, I think you only need sex toys if like your sex life is like super boring. Girly pop, I was just like delusional at the time. I'm not delusional anymore. A sex toy is amazing. And I've knew that for years now, but I'm just like speaking about it now. What is a
Again, we are going to vomit during this
Legos
video. I do think there are some things she said from 10 years ago that we should move on from. I think she's changed her opinion about a lot of things, or she wants us to think she's changed her opinion. The fundamental bitchiness that she showed 10 years ago, I still think carries on into today.
Love it if my partner wanted to be part of my YouTube channel, but I understand if they wouldn't. People are brutal, and there's a difference.
It's fucking infuriating that she continues to blame only the audience. Amber, they don't want to be in the videos because they know that you will film way too much of what they're doing, and even when they become irritated and they're tired of being on camera, you will continue to film them anyways. You have shown this behavior for years. Even just a few years back, you were still doing this. I'm genuinely surprised that she has been respecting people's privacy as much as she has recently because of how bad it was a couple years ago. People are probably scared to be in her videos because as soon as they consent to being in one of her videos, that suddenly means they consent to being in all of them in every way possible. She can't just continue to blame only the audience for why people are afraid to be in her videos.
Between, oh, I'm gonna make fun of this, I might make fun of your hair, versus like, I'm gonna dox you and your family and your dog and your dog's.
She made fun of her exes on camera.
I was hoping you were on the toilet.
You guys, help me wake up this one. Help me wake up this one. Help me. Mom, 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 babe, 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 babe.
Are you actually gonna wear that?
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, she says. Oh, you look so cute. Do you need to make it a little bit bigger?
I don't know. I still think I'm too fat.
Baby, you just gotta lose a little bit of weight. I know you can do it.
Remember that? People don't want to be on camera with her because they know that she'll try to humiliate them in any way she possibly can to make herself look better. It's disgusting.
Kibbles. Like, it's just like, people be doxing like what doctors I have. That actually goes into the next question. Perfect segue, Amberlynn. What really happened during the weight loss surgery era? Okay, I specifically said repeatedly during that whole era, I will explain later. You guys will see why I'm upset later. I can't tell you now, but I'll tell you later. Later is here, and I'm just gonna do it short and quick and to the point. I could easily do a whole story time, but I'm just not gonna even do that.
Can you fucking get on with it? We don't care about the whole pity party talk.
Because I'm not gonna put my energy into this hardcore because I just don't want to. I did back then. My energy was very much into this back then. I was very upset. So let's get into it. So if you guys remember, I came on my YouTube and I said, oh, I can't get weight loss surgery until I don't binge for a whole year. It came out of nowhere. It was confusing. It was weird. It made no sense. But I held on to that and I said, okay, let's do it.
What do you mean it came out of nowhere and makes no sense? You can't be binging after you get a gastric bypass surgery. That's not out of nowhere. That is completely normal to assess whether or not you are in a healthy enough space to get that surgery.
Then I had an appointment with my dietitian and she said, you're gonna come meet the surgeon. Anyways, I was gonna meet the surgeon even before I was supposed to. So long story short, hundreds and hundreds of people were emailing my surgeon, finding his Instagram and messaging him. They were contacting my surgeon's office through the phone, through messages. Any way that people could contact my surgeon, they were finding it and they were doing it. So how did people find out who my surgeon was? A reaction channel. How did that reaction channel find out who my surgeon was? Because I read maybe 2 sentences of an email that was sent to me by my surgeon's office. This reactor wanted to know so badly who my surgeon was, that they faked wanting to get weight loss surgery just so they could get that email back to them to confirm who my weight loss surgeon was. And once they confirmed who my weight loss surgeon was, what did they do? They doxed him.
I don't think people should be contacting them either. The people that Amber brings into her vlogs have basically nothing to do with her, and I think it's unfair to go bother them in general because they aren't the ones that have done what Amber has done. They might be associated. I guess you can alert them to what she's doing, but I still just don't think it's necessary. In some situations, you can judge people by association, but I don't really think this is one of them when they aren't actively in Amber's life.
They said, this is Amberlynn's surgeon. This is who he is. Blah, 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 blah. Well, my surgeon was Dr. Smith, the same surgeon who did Tammy Slayton's surgery. I have met him. He is wonderful. He was understanding. So when I met him and we had that meeting, I explained to him everything. He explained to me the type of messages and things that he was receiving. It was people saying how I binged and I lie. So not only was I fighting for myself.
Are they wrong? She was going in there acting as if her diet was perfect and she hasn't binged in forever. But she was also actively eating out daily, multiple times a day. She was binging. I know it's not our place to tell them, but at the same time, if she is going in there lying to her doctors, that is extremely dangerous. For both her and the doctors. What are the doctors supposed to do if their patient suddenly dies because they're not following procedure?
To get weight loss surgery, but I was fighting against hundreds of people because of a careless reaction channel. I was pissed. I was hurt because it's like, react to me all day. Go for it. I really don't care at this point, but stop getting in the way of my life. Like, you got in the way of my life. So once the surgeon heard about all this and heard my side of the story, that is when things were changed. And he was like, you know what? A year is way too long. He explained to me that they've never been in this type of situation where like someone who was well known gets doxxed and now he's receiving all of these.
How is a year way too long to not binge? Does that mean that he's suddenly expecting you to only not binge for 2 months and then after that 2 months you're fine to binge away? That makes no sense. Also, she's really feeding her ego today. You're telling me that she is the only case that has caused a lot of people at once to contact the clinic when he is a surgeon that has worked on Tammy Slayton, who is arguably more popular than Amber is? Really? I call bull. There is no way this clinic has not dealt with a bunch of people contacting them at one time. I don't know why Amber thinks she's special here. Also, is she implying that the doctor had to set a year of her not binging because of people contacting them? Is that what she's saying? Because if she is, she's accusing them of listening to outside perspectives when they're not supposed to, and she's kind of slandering them in a way.
Messages and calls and stuff. Like, not only like was that not fair to me, but it wasn't fair to them as professionals. Like, they had to deal with all of these messages. That's not fair to them. Dr. Smith is so freaking amazing. Like, he was so sweet, such a gentleman. He was rooting for me through and through. Like, I wish more than anything, if I ever want weight loss surgery again, that he will be the surgeon, because it's just like, he is incredible. I ultimately did not get weight loss surgery because I didn't feel ready. I didn't. I genuinely didn't. I didn't feel like I had the support that I needed because me and my ex...
She wasn't ready. She was still eating way too much. She wasn't ready to cut out what she needed to. She wasn't ready to stop binging. And yeah, you do need a very strong support system through all of that, including someone to tell you no, which we know Amber has not accepted in the past, and if anyone tells her no, she gets pissed off at them about it. I do think she made the right decision in not going through with the surgery, but also I do think it was a good thing that her doctor was alerted to the fact that she was still binging and eating too much.
Now ex, we were just going through a lot at the time. So the last question is, what's your ideal sexual fantasy? Tie me up, put my panties in my mouth. Oh boy, come do whatever you want to me because I'm tied up. So there's nothing I can do about it. Anyways, you guys.
I want to die.
To me it did. I love you guys. I have a lot of editing to do now, but I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
That's the end of that video. I guess I'm gonna end mine here. I think it'll be decently long, I'm really sorry if this felt really rambly. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you. There's a Discord server linked in the description and pinned comment if you want to come chat or hang out. I really enjoy talking with all of you. Feel free to leave me a comment with your thoughts or feedback below. I really appreciate it, and I love hearing from all of you. I hope you have a great day. Bye!